1212 Rebel Tech TV here. And yo, what is going on with all this Tory Lanez, Meg the Stallion conspiracy type shit going on? Like, listen, man. I don't know what's happening. There's a whole bunch of talk out there, know what I mean? So I'm gonna react to some of these videos. Hopefully this video ain't too long, but we're gonna start off with this pink book lessons. We're gonna start off with her. See what her video talking about.
Got money on his books.
This Jaguar Wright talking.
See the way Tory, like it should have been for the Tory Lanez trial, because to see the way Tory Lanez is poked up in the hospital, and the guy that did it got money on his books.
Money on his books?
It was a hit.
Now that's why people think it's a hit, because people saying that he got money on his books right after. A couple of people are saying that too.
And now, bodyguards saying that it was never Tory. Like I said, how did he pull that off? He was high.
That little funny sound you heard right there, I don't know what it was. Because somebody must have edited what she said or something like that. They put a funny sound in there to cover whoever name she said right there. You know what I mean? So
his mind, bodyguards.
I don't know what that is.
Saying that it was never Tory. Like I said, how did he pull that off? He was high out of his mind. He couldn't. He wasn't even sober enough to hit the one in the middle.
Wait a minute. She said the bodyguard. I forgot the bodyguard name. I think we're gonna get the bodyguard name a little later. I guess she can't say the bodyguard name or whatever.
And he's big. How did he pull that off? He was high out of his mind. He wasn't even sober enough to hit the one in the middle. And he's as big as lion ass Megan.
Oh shit.
Megan. So that you can do Airbnbs and be a Harajuku Barbie in real life and be a fake anime character and make ramen with weirdos. That you did all of that. You put that.
Yeah, from the time that she did that South Korean, that's when I stopped fucking with her. That's when I stopped liking her. She's not the only one, but there's artists over there, know what I mean, hip hop and R&B artists out here doing songs with these K-pop people, these South Korean people, and these South Korean people are racist. They use blackface and K-pop motherfuckers. They be trying to make fun of black people and all this shit, and I don't know what the hell happened to hip-hop and R&B or black people, period, but people keep letting this shit slide. They over there, I see Neo over there bigging up K-pop. You know what I mean? This is ridiculous. People done lost their blackness or something like that, man. I don't know, man. But I don't like all that stuff they be doing over there. Them K-pop people.
His life on the line for that.
Gonna bring it back a little bit.
And
bring it back.
So that you can do Airbnbs and be a Harajuku Barbie in real life and be a fake anime character and make ramen with weirdos. That you did all of that.
Weirdos.
You put that man's life on the line for that. These ain't nothing. All of these rappers ain't nothing but set-up queens.
Oh, man.
Jaguar Wright reacting to the latest drama involving Tory Lanez. Tory was attacked in prison this week. 14 wounds from a sharp object, 7 to the back, 4 to the torso, 2 to the back of the head, and 1 to the left side of his face.
2 to the head.
Both lungs collapsed as a result of this attack by another inmate, and the timing, very suspicious. This went down after Meg the Stallion and her team were allegedly alerted to new evidence that could flip the whole case on its head. Evidence suggesting Tory is innocent. Yeah, the narrative that's had him locked up for over 2.5 years was built on shaky ground. And hey, let's call it what it is. It was built on lies. The real trigger puller that night wasn't Tory at all, but Megan's best friend at the time, Kelsey. Conveniently, before this new information could hit the public, Tory gets attacked and nearly lost his life. But no, fortunately for Tory, the story wouldn't end there. There are also reports of money being dropped on the attacker's books after the incident. So now everybody is sitting back connecting the dots.
That's why they think
the
it's a
internet
conspiracy.
is in flames, and Megan Thee Stallion is starting to catch heat. Finally, People are starting to admit that her story wasn't adding up from day one. And she wasn't alone in the takedown of Tory Lanez. She allegedly had serious help from Desiree Perez and Jay-Z's Roc Nation. They're all
Now, I'm gonna need y'all people in the comments and let me know who Desiree Perez is. I never heard of her.
being accused of helping orchestrate a takedown to silence Tory once and for all. We're going to get into it, but first, take a second to make sure you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification.
They're allegedly being stabbed by another inmate in the prison yard in California. The rapper serving time for shooting Megan Thee Stallion is in stable condition tonight after allegedly being stabbed by another inmate in the prison yard in California. Sources say Tory Lanez was rushed to the hospital. He's expected to be okay. He's serving that 10-year sentence for shooting Megan Thee Stallion as they left an LA party back in July 2020. Priya Sridhar is joining us now. I mean, people know Tory Lanez. What happened here?
Man, I don't know if y'all. I think we're gonna skip this part right here because I don't know. Let me see what you're talking about.
But what we do know from the spokesperson for that California Correctional Institute is that this attack occurred at around 7:20 this morning. They didn't give further information about exactly how Tory Lanez was stabbed or what the potential motivation could be or where he was stabbed. But they did say that staff immediately rendered medical aid. He was transported to a local hospital, and he is suffering from non-life-threatening injuries. However, several other media outlets, including the Los Angeles Times, are reporting that this was another inmate who used a shank to stab him several times. Now, just to jog your memory about what he was exactly doing in jail in the first place, as you mentioned, he is serving a 10-year sentence. He was convicted back in December of 2022 on 3 different felony charges: assault with a
You can skip most of that shit they talking about. Know what I mean? Let me
my
see.
automatic firearm, having 20 when Megan Thee Stallion actually testified at the trial that he apparently shot at her feet and
we know all this.
got into a physical altercation that's Ali's property. By the way, she just reported that. That's the message that she's giving out. Then she conveniently walked into the car from Kylie's house when the incident happened. They had already left her house. This incident did not
I'm bring it back a little more. Gotta bring it back. I jumped ahead too far. Hold on, I gotta bring it back some more.
apparently shot at her feet and told her to dance in the driveway.
Why the f you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God! Stop fucking lying!
Again, this is why mainstream media cannot be trusted. She literally lied about the whole story. They weren't walking to the car from Kylie's house when the incident happened. They had already left her house. This incident did not occur on Kylie's property. By the way, she just reported that. That's the message that she's giving out. Then she conveniently left out how Megan and her bestie got into a physical altercation that spilled out of the car in the streets, and that's when the gun appeared and went off. But they're going to keep saying Tory shot Megan when his DNA wasn't even on the weapon. They're not telling their audience that. And that
This is what I'm not understanding. They say his DNA is not on the weapon, but I think TMZ said it was on a weapon or something like that. They say a man's DNA was on a weapon or something like that.
Male DNA belonged to one of the 2 females, and that's when the gun appeared and went off. But they're going to keep saying Tory shot Megan when his DNA wasn't even on the weapon. They're not telling their audience that. And that female DNA belonged to one of the 2 females in the fight. And we all know who that female is.
As Tory Lanez recovers in a hospital after a prison stabbing attack, his father and supporters gathered today to demand his release.
Former rapper was convicted of shooting Megan Thee Stallion. Fox 7's Christopher Hardo tells
just days after rapper Tory Lanez, also known as Daystar Peterson, was attacked in prison, his attorneys are calling on Governor Newsom to pardon or commute his sentence, insisting they have new evidence Lanez didn't shoot superstar Megan Thee Stallion, but it was instead her former best friend, Kelsey Harris.
It's crazy.
Informed Unite the People that he was a witness.
And they say Harris's one-time bodyguard, Bradley James, was spurred by conscience to come forward.
Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was a witness to the conversation Miss Harris had where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody.
Walter Roberts says the statement aligns with another witness who saw 2 women fighting. Lanez is serving a 10-year sentence after being convicted of shooting Stallion in the Hollywood Hills back in 2020. The singer testified against Lane and in an op-ed wrote, quote, "Even as a victim, I have been met with skepticism and judgment. We didn't hear back from Stallion's attorney and couldn't reach Harris for comment. Lanez's lawyers say they've had the new evidence for months and were waiting on the appeals court to rule, but went public after he was stabbed in prison."
He was stabbed 14 times.
The rapper's father, Sunstar Peterson, says his son is recovering remarkably well, but recounted the story Lanez told him.
And I quote, "Dad,
I think I've seen this
thought
before.
it was my last."
The family and legal team insist Lanez was never given a fair trial, raising questions about the prosecution and investigation, but now say Lanez can't wait for the appellate process to play out. In downtown LA, Christy Fajardo, Fox 11 News.
Never know.
Tory was absolutely railroaded. Anyone with a shred of common sense could see what was happening. The actual evidence.
I don't know. A lot of people. I was just looking at some comments, and a lot of people. I'm looking at a comment right now. It's crazy to me how people are still defending. Oh no, that's her lies. I see a lot of comments where people were saying, "Yo, nah, this is nonsense. He's guilty." Parting the horns in the back, but nah, he's guilty. They still defending Meg Thee Stallion. So she talking about anybody with some common sense. No, there's a lot of people, I guess, without no common sense or something like that. So I guess right now, maybe it was like 80% of people that was on Meg Thee Stallion's side, and now it's like 50-50.
His testimony never pointed at Tory Lanez. Tory was absolutely railroaded. Anyone with a shred of common sense could see what was happening. The actual evidence and testimony never pointed at Tory Lanez at all. His DNA wasn't even on the weapon. But guess what was? Female DNA. And instead of doing their due diligence, they conveniently skipped testing Megan's friend to see if that DNA belonged to her.
Now see, that's what I'm trying to say. TMZ said that it was male DNA on there. You know what I mean? That's the evidence that they got us. There's a picture or something like that out there saying that these people, the attorneys and all these other people saying it was 0.0% that it was his DNA on there. And they saying now Pink Book Lessons talking about it was female DNA on there. So what is all these different stories about the DNA? You know what I mean? How come they can't even get that straight?
Also, female DNA. And instead of doing their due diligence, they conveniently skipped testing Megan's friend to see if that DNA belonged to her. Also, key testimony that could have cleared Tory wasn't taken seriously. Then there's Kelsey, Megan's ex-bestie, who showed up demanding full immunity before saying a word. Full immunity. She knew the truth, but still twisted herself into knots to protect herself, even though she couldn't be prosecuted anyway, thanks to that sweetheart deal from the prosecution. Now fast forward, Kelsey's own.
I think they gave her that because they was really fiending to bring down Tory Lanez. This is my whole point in all this. You know what I mean? They are using black women to destroy black men and the black culture. You know what I mean? So they don't care. Here, you actually did it, Kelsey? Well, listen, we trying to get him. You're trying to get the black man. We'll give you immunity as long as you testify against him. They don't even care who's really guilty. Just get him up out of here.
Bodyguard has come forward and said it plain. It was Kelsey who did this to Megan. According to his testimony, he couldn't stay quiet knowing what he knew while an innocent man is locked up, taking the fall for something he didn't do.
So you mean to tell me Kelsey shot her friend Megan Thee Stallion and not Tory Lanez? It's another reason why we don't have friends. Breaking news has just came out, y'all. Kelsey's bodyguard feels so bad, and his conscience has been playing on him so hard. After Tory Lanez was stabbed 14 times, this man done came forward and told the truth. Now, bodyguard, you know you this man been sitting in jail all this time to get stabbed. Yo, Kelsey pulled out the gun and fired off 3 shots, and then somebody knocked the gun out of her hand. Allegedly.
Now, a lot of Megan's friends didn't like it when I said that something wasn't right. That it didn't make sense that Meg had her back turned to Tory, yet she's going to testify that he pew-pewed her. How can you say that you were turned and still say in the same instance that you know who did what?
That's crazy.
If he did not have pew-pew residue on his hands,
pew-pew residue,
that he did this to her.
So Megan Thee Stallion knew Tory Lanez did not pew her, and she
Oh
proceeded
shit,
to still
pew
lie
all
about
over the place, huh?
whole time. But you know who did it to you. You
Hold on,
so Megan Thee Stallion knew Tory Lanez did not pew her, and she proceeds to still lie about the whole time. But you know who did it to you. You on motherfucking interviews and crying, acting a motherfucking fool like this man just a baby. I'm with Chris Brown, free Tory Lanez. I don't care no more. Sure. I don't get how y'all really be okay.
Tory Lanez and free Chris Brown. It's all bad right now. Come on, man, with the horn in the background, man. These fucking cars, G.
People lives who literally, like, y'all be okay with messing up people's lives. 10 years in jail. Like, come on, be for real, for real. This man is an innocent man. Like he said, he was trying to stay quiet and, you know, not say nothing about this. Until y'all just kept going and going and going. The bodyguard said, Kelsey pew Megan. The story just wasn't adding up at first anyway, and it was just too much going on, too many lies back to back. Like,
I don't really understand. Oh, come on. Listen, man. Stop blowing your horn. It's not gonna make the light turn green, man. Coño, man. Hey, yo, I don't understand. What's the sense of having these alternative words for stuff? Pew. Like, we don't know what it means. Like, come on. It means get shot or shooting. So, what the hell? We know what it means. It's the same thing. Or the way these social media platforms be wanting to take away your freedom of speech is kind of crazy to me. And how everybody gets offended by certain things or whatever.
With so many different stories, you just didn't know what to believe from the jump. I knew that Megan was lying, but I just didn't know it was gonna come to this. Like she actually knew who did this to her. That's just that's crazy because now innocent
she knew Meg was lying
because you was mad or
like
you just didn't
dead.
want to be exposed for being a liar. Like it still came out.
Alright, so that was some girl talking on Pink Book Lessons page, some clips she had. So let's see what they're talking about now. The person that's bringing, let's hear from the official News Nation or something like this. This would look like one of the Cuomo's or something like that. Let's hear what they talking about. I mean, the Representative Luna, she on a News Nation or something like that. Let's see what's happening.
Singer, rapper, 2022. Singer, rapper, Tory Lanez, convicted of shooting performer Megan Thee Stallion after a party at the Hollywood Hills home of Kylie Jenner. Here's the story. They're at the party. After the party, they get into an argument. Lanez tells Megan Thee Stallion, dance, and shoots at her feet like a cowboy movie.
Oh, shit. That's crazy.
Testimony of Megan Thee Stallion, her friend Kelsey Harris, and DNA evidence on the weapon that convinced jurors to convict. Pretty simple, right? Maybe not. Turns out that DNA, only a 0.01% chance that the DNA is from Lanez.
Now, this is what I'm talking about. How can a news place like this say this, but TMZ, a news place like they are, say something different? You know what I mean? I understand if I get it wrong, somebody in the street get it wrong on YouTube, something like that. You know what I mean? But these people, their information is supposed to be vetted. So how are they coming out saying this and they saying something else? Why they getting wrong and all types of different information if they're getting it from the same source? You know what I mean?
He's always maintained his innocence. He was sentenced to 10 years. So this is really about the testimony. Lanez, so what happens? So he goes away, recently stabbed 14 times in prison. Then he say it was a hit, okay? Because new evidence is about to come out. All right, a little conspiratorial, but he was definitely stabbed. Lanez supporters believe that the media doesn't care because Megan Thee Stallion is represented by Jay-Z's Rock Nation. Now, I could give a damn about Jay-Z or his company. This just wasn't a case on my radar until now. Why? Anna Paulina Luna. She is a representative from Florida. You see her here on a regular basis. She says she's got new evidence, says it wasn't him. And she joins us now. Representative APL, it's good to have you.
Thanks, Chris. Happy to be back on. And thanks for taking a look at this case.
No, listen, you tell me to take a look at it, I'll look at it. But why did you look at it? I mean, this isn't your jurisdiction. I don't know you to have any connection to any of these people.
Yeah, so as you know, we are on oversight and accountability, and so this case was actually initially flagged for me by Amber Rose, and the reason why I took particular interest in it is because of the fact that they actually had evidence that they presented to me in my office that actually disproved the conviction. So as you stated earlier, that 0.01% of DNA, they actually found 4 people's DNA on that firearm, none of which was Tory's. Not to mention there was 0 fingerprints on the actual magazine, and also too, as you said, 0.01% chance. I mean, that evidence in itself should pretty much speak for itself. Also, there's been ring footage that's been obtained that actually disproves the whole dance, Megan. And so what we're seeing is really there was a...
Yeah, so I mean, so she's saying this, and I think TMZ saying like, nah, she fine. They TMZ message out there. I mean, TMZ, I mean, my bad. The ring shows something different. So, how is this information so misconstrued?
If he said, she said, the evidence was in itself should pretty much speak for itself. Also, there's been ring footage that's been obtained that actually disproves the whole dance, Megan. And so what we're seeing is really there was a case of he said, she said, the evidence wasn't actually respected and properly adhered to actually in the trial. And then they also were doing something that...
I hate to hear he say, she say shit. Unless he say, she says, she on my dirt.
I would find pretty wild and egregious. They're actually submitting his lyrics for rap as evidence to the crime. So look, first and foremost, you have to have a free and fair society. That means we need to respect and uphold the justice system. So I actually reached out today to Gavin Newsom's office, and we are requesting an emergency meeting. We're also working with other Democrats, specifically to the California delegation. But I think that this is something that's pretty...
That's kind of crazy that they're working with other Democrats. I hear that she's a Republican. You know what I mean? So she's cool with Trump and all that. You know what I mean? So what exactly people want to know? What is her angle? You know what I mean?
Egregious that the way that this was handled, the way that it was, I think that it was largely driven by headlines. And aside from the people involved and the parties involved, obviously I take domestic violence, I take this very seriously, Chris, but I also take very seriously the fact that I do believe, based on the evidence that I've seen, that Tory's innocent. And I think that it sets a really bad message when you have someone of his stature, and also to someone that is as influential as he is, that's being wrongfully incarcerated. And that's exactly why we wanted to use our megaphone for a good reason and help get him his pardon, which I think he'll get.
So Luna, who did it? I mean, she says and her friends say that
that's crazy.
He did it.
Who did it?
And who else would have done it? And what proof do you have
is
to
defend mine?
Maybe they didn't make the case the right way with the weapon, but who did it?
You know, Chris, that's not for me to weigh in, and that's definitely for the judge and the jury. But what I will tell you is based on the evidence that we have. The evidence that we have says that he wasn't the guy. And so I do think that Gavin Newsom has some great attorneys that will look at this. But I'd also like to point out that the prosecutor specifically on this case that initially brought the charges is a very interesting prosecutor. Look into who ran him. And at the end of the day, you know, I think Hollywood, as you know, Chris, and politics does overlap. And there's a lot of interesting stuff that happened there. So look at the evidence for yourself. We've posted it for the entire world to see, to determine for themselves.
For yourself. Let's see what else we got here. And now me, who else talking? Alright, what else we got here? We got homie over here, Book of Alpha Unami or something like that. He got something here. Let's see what he talking about. Let's see what his video is talking about.
Peterson did not shoot Miss P, did not shoot at Miss P, or did not assault Miss P. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case.
It's another.
For example, there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson.
Okay, fellas, listen. Sun's out.
That's crazy.
Okay? Sun's out, buns out.
Oh, what's
so what I'm saying that to say, this is not the season to be tricked out of your position. Okay, you see a woman, she's attractive, whatever, and you are growing, you are building, you are elevating, you are chasing your purpose as you should. I love that for you.
She loves
Listen
that
to me. Most women are one emotional decision away from destroying your life.
Oh,
okay? So analyze this woman, and I mean this so
we ain't trying to go through that. Straight look, guys, she probably right and all that, but you know what I mean? Let's just get to some facts over here. Let's get to this shoot talking. Let's see what he talking about.
Sorry, Mr.
He is a black man.
How long ago United People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James? Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Miss Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. Peterson, I'm sorry, Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality
Mr.
agreement
James.
that was free.
Mr. James is the name of the dude at the security guard. I was trying to get his name. I couldn't get his name earlier. Something James.
And that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do.
After he got poked up.
Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was a witness to the conversation Miss Harris had where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side. Passenger side is where Miss Harris was sitting. This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Miss Pete, did not shoot at Miss Pete, or did not assault Miss Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. For example, there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson.
Why is that?
Even though unknown DNA was found on the gun.
Unknown.
Why wasn't Miss Harris's DNA taken?
Facts.
Or was it taken and the information simply never given to the defense? Why wasn't the driver of the car, Mr. Jaquan Smith's DNA taken?
Jaquan?
Or was it taken and again, simply not given to the defense?
Now, after hearing this, you have to ask yourself, how is it that a man with this level of notoriety and fame and finances and financial support from the people that he makes money for, the record labels and the sponsors and all of this, the investors, how was this allowed to happen? And I'm going to be honest with you. It has a lot to do with the man's skin tone. The reality of the situation is there are many men of color who are locked away in this prison system, convicted of crimes they didn't commit.
Facts.
There's a man who just was released after doing 35 years for a murder he didn't commit.
It's crazy.
His compensation for all of those years, $2.6 million.
2.6.
Yes, that means $2.6 million.
Fuck.
Not even 100 bands for every year he lost. And there's been several situations where things like this have taken place. But I say this to y'all.
No matter what you look like, you should not be in jail if you did not commit that crime, man.
And do this to a man.
What up?
And have other men around them who would do it.
It's a something
I'm not surprised that the women would do it. I'm not surprised that Kelsey and Megan would put their heads together and
now
do this and
I'm gonna get to, so I'm gonna skip to.
Man, fuck that, man.
This part right
has
here
probably been locked away for a crime he didn't commit. And you think about all the guys who jumped on top of it, all the Houston guys. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. A bunch of those guys jumped out on some simp stuff. Bun B.
Now here's the next thing, and I tried to be impartial and cool about this and not get.
I ain't even never seen it.
That man, Tory Lanez, okay? And I don't care if this go viral or none of that shit. I'm from Houston, and if somebody would have done something to Megan in this city, we would have rolled.
Damn.
Megan in LA by herself. It's just her, T. Ferry.
Think about this for a second. Now, I mean, if Tory is really innocent, they ready to go ride out. Bun B ready to go ride out for. Think about how many wars this started just because a chick was lying about something or just over a chick, period. You know what I mean? Niggas be ready to do all type of shit for chicks. You know what I mean?
She ain't got a mama no more. Her mama's gone. Her daddy's gone.
Damn.
Her grandmother is gone. All the people that loved her and cared about her unconditionally, that looked out for her, would have protected her, ain't there. So as an OG in Houston, I'm standing up.
Really?
Tory Lanez did some whole ass shit.
Damn.
Period.
Damn.
Yeah, I know Tory. I know his manager. I know all of them, man. Fuck all that, though. All that. If the man on drugs, get him some goddamn rehab. If the man got mental health issues, get him some therapy. But you're not just gonna sit here and shoot this girl and we not say nothing. This shit not real. This is not real shit. It's not. Anytime a man hurts a woman, that's obsession. That ain't love. That's obsession.
Jump out on some simp stuff.
Yeah,
Slim
I'm saying him jumping out like that for is that some real nigga shit?
Did you have an intimate relationship with him? Like sexual?
Slim Thug.
Same thing with the stallion. She lied about not sleeping with him. Who the want to tell who they slept with? Nobody want to say that. I wouldn't have said no. Slept with on national TV anyway. You trying to? She lied
True about that.
Tory ain't do that. Shut the up, man. Who want to say who they slept with on the ABC News? Shut the.
Right about
Y'all
that.
little stupid. Y'all so slow, man. You gonna ask somebody who they slept with on ABC? Shut the. What are we doing? Megan lied again. What the? You ain't gotta tell people who you slept with, weirdo.
So that's
slept with so many married women in my life.
Oh
man. A bunch of those cats. Instead of standing on principle being men, let me tell you something. Before you're from Houston, you're a man.
True.
Before you're from Texas, you're a man.
True indeed.
Before you're a rapper, you're a man.
True indeed.
Before you're a hustler, you're a man.
True indeed.
And so manhood and masculinity is supposed to be at the forefront of your thoughts. It's supposed to be at the forefront of your actions. It's supposed to be what you go to before you go to your feelings. So all that stepping and fetching and kowtowing and pandering you guys were doing without even having the facts.
Oh shit.
Just going on what a woman said. It's crazy. And it just goes to show you can be as gangster as you want to be in the streets, but still be a bona fide simp for these bros.
Oh man, yeah.
Slim Thug
I've seen it
had
before.
the audacity to say that it didn't matter that she lied when she talked on Gayle King's show. Where it seems like she lied about more than that.
Yeah.
But it's too much to ask you guys to be men. It's too much. That's why you always
got problem being men nowadays.
Trying to show stuff and covering yourself up in things so you can hide from the fact that deep down inside, internally, you're not a man.
Oh shit.
Let me tell y'all something, man.
Oh man.
It's a sad situation where we live in a society where a woman can present herself as the scalliest of scallywags.
Oh shit.
As the hoodiest of hood rats.
Oh no, he's going in.
As the most scandalous of scandalous women.
Oh, shit.
All of her music, all of her presentation, everything she says, talk about how she uses men and takes advantage of men and all of these things. And then the very moment she says, without any evidence proving this, that a man did something to her, we as a society turn our backs on them.
So your job
it's
expects
crazy,
you to be on time for work.
Bad time for a commercial. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of that going around, man. I don't know, man. Pardon the sirens in the back. Know what I mean? I live in a place where a lot of sirens be going on. You can see there's a lot of sound effects in my background. It's not on purpose. Trust me. Yeah, man. Hold on. Let's get back to this video.
That is the very reason that I tell you, man, without any evidence proving this, that a man did something to her, we as a society turn our backs on that man. That is the very reason that I tell you, man, if you're a man of means and you can get off the scene, you're a fool if you're still dealing with American women, dog.
Oh shit.
I mean, you're just a fool. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're still dealing with American women, now, if you have women who have proven themselves over the years, and you know them, and they've never crossed you or done anything, that's different.
Okay.
But as far as being out here meeting and trying to date, trying to be in relationships with American women, man, bro, this society has cooked the women's brains. They're not equipped to be what they need to be, to be in a relationship with you. And this is one example of that.
Wow.
You look at all of these other things that are going on, how these women are just leaving men.
Right.
You look at how Beyonce's mom, 71 years old, talking about she leaving her husband because she deserves better. What? You 71? You deserve better than a successful, rich man who could have another option that's better than you?
It's never too late.
You got that old box that don't even work no more.
Oh shit!
You got all those surgical procedures to your face. You barely look human now.
This nigga's
And you
going in.
deserve more. You look at Tiana Taylor. Come on, man. Let's be honest with you. She takes really good care of her body. She's in great shape.
Right.
But how many of you actually want to wake up in the morning and look at that face every morning? We're not talking about the made up version that we see. We're talking about the fresh, clean, woke up in the morning version of that face every morning. I don't.
I don't know if I've
If you
seen
do,
it.
put it in the chat and let us know you do.
I gotta see it, I guess.
9 times out of 10, you probably haven't seen that face without makeup on it.
Nah, I'm in that
You
9
think
out of
about
10.
it, the way women move in this society, man, they have no love for you as a man. And the least a woman can do is have love for you as a man. We ain't talking about be all head over heels in love and all of that. We talking about the least a woman can do is have love, respect, and appreciation for you. And in this society, women don't.
The dating scene is
Think about
rough.
all the women you know who talk bad about Tory Lanez. Think about all the men you know who talk bad about Tory Lane because they trying to be on the good side of the women.
Sucker for love.
We live in that type of
That's
society,
what we call
man,
them.
and I'm gonna be honest with you. I
Them
think
type
it's
of
a
men.
travesty
Sucker for
that
love.
this type of thing could happen.
Travesty.
There are no organizations
Sucker
to
for
stand
loves
up
out
for a
there.
man, to defend a man, to a man has to
Facts.
stand on all of this and do it all himself.
Yeah,
you
this
know?
is true. All right, we get the point. You know what I mean? It's a lonely world for a man. It's rough out here for a man. But, yeah, I want to know what y'all got to say about all of this stuff going on, man. Y'all think Tory is innocent? It's some type of conspiracy. They talking about Rock Nation and all this madness, man. They might have set it up or whatever. Man, it's crazy and hurting. And people are calling me, so who the hell is this calling me? I don't even answering that. That's what it is, man. I'm ending my video with that, though. 1.